pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. So we'll start with attendance.
So noted.
And next we'll go to public comment. Is there anybody other than Forest Lake that is here to comment? We will close public comment. All right, so next we'll go on to approval of the minutes. We've all had a chance to look them over. If there's no changes, I'd look for a motion.
I move to approve the minutes as amended.
Thank you. The minutes?
The minutes as amended.
There were minute amendments? I apologize, I didn't.
There were some grammatical changes that were made that Michael was very keen on, so we took care of everything, got taken care
Okay.
of.
Sorry.
There were minor just grammar changes.
Okay, great.
Grammatical. The right word?
We have a motion by Treasurer Shostak.
It's a miracle.
Support.
Brooke, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That passes. So we'll go to new items, and we have four.
Quick amendment to table that item.
Do you want to do it when we get to it, or just do that now? We can do that now. Do we have a motion to table item number B?
I so moved.
Support.
Motion by Clerk Brooks, support by Treasurer, almost said Keeps, Treasurer Shostak. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That does pass. Okay, so now we'll go to site improvement landscape for 1401 Club Drive, Forest Lake Country Club. So we'll start with Andrea, and then you can come on up and give your additional information.
Thank you. So what we have before you is a proposal, probably a portion of road that we're somewhat familiar with, which is Club Drive as it runs in front of Forest Lake Country Club. The applicant has been working alongside with the Road Commission to come up with a new design to install some decorative landscape walls that will have the name Forest Lake located on them, as well as some piers and some fencing. So the proposal here, as you can see, there is on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see there's vegetative landscaping as well as a wall being proposed in this area. And then there's additional landscaping that is in front of another landscape wall here that has the pillars at each end. And then you can also see that they, in this area, they are approving adding some curbing as well as some vegetation, piers, and again, another sign that shows the Forest Lake Country Club logo. Below, you can see some examples of the proposed vegetation, as well as the brick masonry pier that's being proposed, as well as the decorative fencing that is being proposed. So the applicant did, like as I stated earlier, due to the rather tight configuration along Club Drive, they have been working with the Road Commission. I will have them come up and speak directly in regards to how this impacts the road itself, as well as I can have them speak to the support that they've received from the Road Commission as it pertains to making these changes. It's actually improving a current situation, but they're actually going to be moving things approximately 7 feet in closer to the club, so they're actually improving the situation by this design. And as it stands right now in the most recent conversations, it has been determined, Mr. Moore, which will come up here and speak shortly, the applicant, will speak to his conversations with the Road Commission, and the final determination to date is that nothing is actually within the right-of-way, and that they would be able to proceed through township approval. And then I do have to mention that anything within a front yard does require approval by the Zoning Board of Appeals. So we would need an application from the applicant to go to the Zoning Board of Appeals to install these structures in the front yard. But with that, I'm happy to answer any questions, but I add Mr. Moore would come up here and be able to answer any questions that the board may have as well in terms of the location and the design and why they are doing what they're doing. So if you'd like to come up here, Mr. Moore, and
Come on up
introduce
and add.
yourself and,
On the spot.
yeah.
How you doing? Ryan Moore, Superintendent, Forest Lake Country Club. These gentlemen right here are Jason Orchard from the Board of Directors, past president, Creighton Forester, which you guys probably know a few times.
Past
He's been up here with me.
You left?
Thank God. Still on the board.
So yeah, initially this project, when we thought about doing it, I brought the Road Commission over to the site. I'm not sure if you have the photos that I took of the site conditions existing. There's a lot of safety issues. It's a very busy road. As you can see, that one's perfect right there. There's a center line and then the white line, and basically 4 or 5 foot shoulder of the road, and then a hedge. So our members come through this area right there, and all of a sudden, all the landscaping vehicles and everybody going up Club Drive, it's kind of a speedway, that it's unsafe. Plus, it's sat there for 30 to 35 years. It's in a condition of somewhat deterioration. So bringing the road commission, the idea was to improve the front. Originally, our thought was that a typical road has a 33-foot setback, which is the right-of-way. Clarified by Sean Murphy with the road commission, that's why we received the permit. It's actually the white line is the right-of-way. So by us taking that hedge out and giving 7 foot 4 inches of the property, we create an 11-foot basically shoulder where cars can pull off the road, where the landscape vehicles, the through traffic does not get involved with their golfers. By opening up the whole entranceway, the pedestrians, which are the members at Forest Lake or their guests, can see the traffic coming, and it's just much more of a flow issue traveling from the clubhouse on one side to the other. So we basically, a few fundamentals is the beautification, the improvements, and the safety we kind of looked at. You can see on the bottom photo there with the golf cart how jammed it is with that car coming off the road. You basically fit where that hedge is and where that cart is, that would be a whole almost car lane before you hit the new vegetation. So overall, it's a huge improvement. It's an investment for the club to beautify it. It's a beautiful investment for the township to have it in, and the safety concerns. So we went back and forth with Andrea. Originally, we had filed a design board and a zoning board, but because the right-of-way we thought was at 33 feet, that's why we worked this right-of-way permit. Now we're falling back into a permit. We kind of went back. So is there any questions about this overall project? There is one picture on there, I think it is, of kind of the rendition of the wall, like of the landscape where it should look like,
One where it shows the sign and everything?
where it kind of
Yeah,
shows
they
the
had that.
sign.
Yeah.
And it's very non-discreet. You see it all over the township. We just want to kind of match kind of the stately level of the township on that side of the road at the golf course. So is there any questions that I can provide some answers or some more details with this process here?
Do you have any questions? My only question is, so on the lights, will those be the typical low lighting lumen and not a bright lumen?
That's exactly the idea. We just wanted to kind of make sure everyone kind of knew the wall was there. It's a little decorative. It's not to impair traffic or signal traffic, but just more of an accent lighting for that area.
In your photos, Ryan, the pier that's existing entrance of our property, we'll be matching that type of fixture. I think you picked it up in one.
Yeah, so right there, we have 3 columns, 2 on the north side of the golf course, 1 on the south side, that have those exact same lights up on top. So the goal is kind of to match kind of the field, the brick of the club.
I personally think you picked some beautiful plant variations too. You know, it's not just all arborvitae, or, I mean,
You
you
guys
have
picked
a
them for
lot
us,
of,
so.
it's beautiful though. You can tell the time you put into picking that.
Yeah.
And the sign itself looks really neat too, so
There's
I
a lot of
personally love it.
failing trees in that area, and that shrub just kept on getting bigger and bigger and pushing more people farther in the road. So it's one of those things that was time.
You know, part of the problem we have, guys, is
If you could come up, sorry, and introduce yourself.
Creighton Forester Forest Lake Country Club, a member. Part of the problem we have is that they use Club Drive as a thoroughfare, whether they're going to Square Lake Road or they're going to those 2 subdivisions. So they can get, their speeds can exceed 50 miles an hour.
What?
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
We've talked about, we just talked about this in a
You can
board
almost
meeting.
step outside the door and get run over.
Well, that's a problem. So
have
it was
residents.
proposed, and Ryan's looking into it, it was proposed that if we do speed bumps, but what the right process is, was the road commission, the township, whomever. But part of the process of doing this conceptual drawing is that we will open up, and it will become a better safety issue, if you will, because we have huge concern. And this speed issue hasn't just started, it's been there for a while,
Wow.
Yeah.
so.
Well, they won't fix, we hopefully you can have some progress on the speed issue too, and do this. I mean, that's,
Correct, Mark,
you know,
exactly.
yeah.
Do
Because this
people-
looks great, by the way. I mean, it looks fabulous. I only one question.
Sure.
Which is, will the construction entail any blockage of Club Drive?
No.
That people had to go around it?
So let me correct, we did.
Sorry, because we are on
Yeah.
cable, it doesn't look like you're all being watched, but cable is actually
Yep.
putting this on TV right now.
So we filed for a 1-week permit to interrupt the road because part of that shoulder of the road to add on the pavement, we actually have to butt join it up to the existing road. So I don't know, it would probably take a period of 2 or 3 days. So we just paid for 1 week of interruption as far as the
Okay.
road to make sure that whole road is seamed from existing to what we're adding on.
Short disruption.
Yeah, just a short disruption,
Great.
but the other stuff is going to be managed on private land.
Great.
One thing I will ask, because I get all calls.
Yeah.
Can you make sure to let all the neighbors that you can know about that in advance of that day so that they don't call us saying, what did RCOCRU do to my road?
Or let us know the dates too, so if we get phone calls.
Yeah, especially the
That
ones
week.
that would be hindered where there's no other, you have some right near you in particular where it would be hard to get to their home. So if you could just let them know in advance, that way they feel included, they know what you're doing, and then we also don't get the calls.
Yeah, and the nice thing about the project, it's really, all they have to do is mill the road to make a proper butt joint. The
Yeah.
actual paving section is very simple and fast for these guys. So it could be simply as the morning, do the one process,
Yeah.
in the afternoon, put asphalt there.
Perfect, yeah, if you
So-
could just let them know that, that would be wonderful.
Great.
One question, first of all, it is beautiful. When people are going, bless you, to the lake, do they walk across the street?
Sorry, what was the question?
When people are using your club, isn't there something on the water that's also Forest Lake side?
Yeah, so we have, I think I measured the other day, about 485 feet of lakefront on Forest Lake, but most of that usage happens on the other side of Club Drive.
Okay,
What this is more concerning is the most of our activity at the club comes from people parking on the street and walking into the front clubhouse
Okay.
doors, and then getting their golf clubs or golf apparel going back across. And then we stage our golf carts. They're underneath the building. We have to bring those up. So people are really whipping down the streets. So
Yeah.
to just add people's sightlines, because people are excited to golf, their heads are down.
Yeah.
People are driving, their heads are unfortunately down nowadays.
yeah,
We're just trying to make it a little bit better that way.
I think it's beautiful. Anybody have any
I'm
other
ready to make-
questions?
We're to make a motion if we're,
Great.
I move to approve as presented and refer to the ZBA for further action.
Motion by Clerk Brooke,
Support.
support by Treasurer Shostak. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That does pass.
Looks great.
It'll look beautiful.
So
Thank
as
you.
far as the speed thing goes, unfortunately, I mean, this is again a county road, so that it's the county that, we can't do anything about it, but
They also
No.
set speed limits. We've tried to get limits lowered. So
Right.
the county would be who you'd want to talk to about their road and anything. One thing we always warn about is if you think people are going fast and you want the road lowered, they follow an 85 rule. Whatever 85% of what the cars are doing becomes the new one. So typically it's raised, not lowered. So I always warn people, if you don't want people speeding, sometimes the worst thing to do is ask the road commission to do the survey because they have actually had to raise some of them.
so or you get all the club members to drive by with 10 miles an hour during
Yeah, while they're
that
doing
period,
it.
and then
Yeah, we had that happen on one of the roads, and we were surprised that that was how they handled it. But they would be, if you're looking for any sort of changes, you mentioned speed bumps or crosswalks, anything like that. That's why I was asking about, do they cross? Because you might want to ask them for a crosswalk now that you have a nice area, but if they're not crossing.
So I guess the question was, so that falls on the road commission, not the township?
right.
Right.
All right, so that's where the whole
Wish we could do something.
Yeah,
we can't.
and townships don't own the infrastructure. Like a city owns roads, owns their storm sewers. Townships default to the county owns everything, which is why we only have 10 mil operating instead of like Birmingham has like an 18 mil tax operating.
And now, my final question would be is now that we move back into the zoning board of appeals, it's submitting a permit and then they meet once a month?
You can talk to me about that. I can help you with that.
Yeah.
What the process is. They do meet once a
Get you on
month.
the agenda for that.
Great.
Yeah,
All right.
great. Well, thank you so much. It'll look great.
Thanks a lot.
So next, we have general business. Do we have any recent DRB approvals to discuss?
No, we don't.
Great. So our next meeting date is November 15th, and with that, I look for a motion to adjourn. Oh, we beat
Support.
you. Motion by Treasurer Shostak, support by Clerk Brooke. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed. Thank you.